How are you, Dunner?
I'm good, thanks.
Well, let's just start here. What are you most relieved about now that this season officially is in the past and you can kind of wipe the slate clean and get ready here for this next year?
Yeah, I don't think it's really a relief. I think for me, the best part of my years are the season, not the off season. So I love playing games, and it was very different this year, meeting all new teammates and getting used to them and learning how they are at the rink and away from the rink, and yeah, just taking it all in this year was a lot for all of us, I'm sure. I enjoyed every part of it, and like you said, looking forward to next year. I think there's a lot to build off of. There's a lot to be proud of that we've done here. Not the results we wanted, but I think there's a lot of positive things to look forward to in the future.
If you could take one game, play an envelope, and think that's the way we've got to play for ideal play, more success over and over this next season, what game would that be?
Oh, man. No, I think most of our wins we worked really hard for, so I think you can almost look at any of our wins. They were complete games. That's how we found ways to win games this year. We weren't a team that could rely on one player to get us through games or periods or moments. So, those wins took all of us to do from top to bottom. And, yeah, I think, there's a lot of teams that we beat this year that are very good teams. We can be proud of that. I think, the Florida wins were big for us. But I think in general, all of our wins, it took a lot of hard work and a lot of things to be done right to win those.
You had a pretty good year. What kind of step do you feel like you took this year?
Yeah, I was pretty satisfied with my year. I think I would have liked to have a little bit more finish in my game. I definitely think my production level could have been higher, but I think overall I took a big step in my minutes on the ice, and I think I absorbed those pretty well. I think towards the end of the year, playing with Lars, it's a big responsibility, and I think me and him had a lot of good chemistry together. Learned a lot of things from the way he plays the game. So I think just taking in those bigger minutes and a bigger role towards the end of the season, that was a big step for me in my career, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Is there anything that surprised you about the city or the team or coming into the season not knowing much about Seattle or your teammates?
I wouldn't say I was really surprised. I think a lot of us are the same people. We've been living it for quite a while now in our lives. So I think a lot of us are the same. But I think just learning about the city more than anything, that was probably the biggest adjustment for me. And meeting new people all the time. There's so many new faces, so I'm just getting to know them away from the rink. There's a lot more rain than I thought. That was probably the biggest thing for me. I said it wasn't that rainy, but it's pretty rainy. I'm sure you guys saw that today. But other than that, no, it was just a lot of learning this year. But I didn't find it very overwhelming or anything. It was comforting. There was a lot of help that we had in the city with the way they staffed our organization. There's a lot of outlets for us. Whatever we needed, it was pretty much done or very accessible. So that was really comforting for, I think, all of us, especially being in a new place.
And Vince, I think you and the coaches both wanted to improve your defensive game this year.
Yeah.
What parts of that do you think really improved for you?
Yeah, I think I was trying to focus on that the most. Like you said, improving defensively, I don't think statistically it really shows for many guys on our team with the goal differentials. But I think overall I took a big step in playing against top players. I think when you're playing bigger minutes too, that's a lot more responsibility on you. So, yeah, I think I definitely took a stride in the right direction. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I think what I did this year is really good for me to kind of process and learn from and evaluate. and I think it's just something to build on for next.
Vince, how are you feeling, and what, if anything, can you share with us that you were dealing with here at the end of the season?
I'm feeling pretty good. I won't get into detail, but yeah, I think I have lots of time to figure it out over the summer here. It won't be something that's going to affect me in the future. I've had all the help in the world I need around the rink to get me ready for Game 1 next year.
Can you talk about the chemistry that you had to build with Lars or with your teammates? Everybody was in the same boat. Was that easier, harder, or as expected coming into the year?
I think everyone was very understanding of each other and very patient with each other to kind of learn habits. You know, it wasn't easy to do, but I don't think it's any harder than kind of switching lines or switching D pairings on another team that you've been in the past. I think a lot of us here had already played against each other, or some of us played with each other, so I think that definitely helps. It's not like we're all complete strangers to each other, so we're able to know what kind of role that person maybe had on their previous team. So I think maybe the first couple of games might have been a little overwhelming at times, just you know, with new systems and everything on top of that. But I think for the most part we're very good at talking to each other and doing a lot of coaching and video and things like that to learn from each other. And you know, I think that was kind of an exciting part is to build that chemistry and build a culture in here.
Vince, when you look at the last 2 months or so of the season, it seems like you guys made a pretty significant step forward. What do you think was kind of fueling that? And I know, well, it's not as far as you want to go. What do you think propelled that along?
Yeah, I think maybe the trade deadline had a lot of us a little anxious or nervous. I'm not speaking for anyone, but maybe that was it. I thought that our compete level and our choices that we were making in the games were a lot more confident, a lot more predictable with each other. I think when those two things are the most important part of your game and your hard work, it makes the game a lot easier on all of us. And I thought that we did a good job of doing that for the most part after the deadline. I think, you know, with the playoffs kind of getting out of our reach towards the end, we were all trying to prove a point to make a statement for what we might mean in the lineup next year. So maybe that was motivating for some players to compete at a higher level and play at a higher level. But I think overall we played for each other. We had what we had in the locker room, and you know, we wanted to make a statement that we weren't just going to throw the rest of the games away in the season. We wanted to work on our game and, like I said, build something for next year and look for the near future. I think we have a lot of key pieces in the locker room and coaching and management and ownership. You know, top to bottom, there's a lot of opportunity for us here.
You scored the first goal at Climate Pledge Arena. Is that the highlight for you personally from the season, or is there something else that might stick with you for a while?
Yeah, for me, that's probably it. I think just that first game in general is probably the highlight for me at Climate Pledge, and from there on, the games got even more exciting and louder at home. So I think we definitely made a statement to the teams coming in here that it's not going to be an easy place to play in, and I think we really did a good job of you know, showing the fans what we can do. It wasn't even in games maybe we got down, the fans were always there to get us through and to support us all the way into that last game, that last home win that we had. So we're very thankful for them.
What is it about the pairing of you and Lars that makes it work well, and what are some of the things you've learned from him?
Yeah, he's just such a great skater and great defender. He prides himself in defense, and I think as a defenseman, that's what you want on the other side of you. So he's very easy to talk to in the locker room, and you know, all the guys love him on the team. So being a great person definitely translate onto the ice. You know, he's someone that I've talked to throughout the whole season, someone who's, you know, been there for me for not always things going so well for me. Just kind of talking about teams that he's been in the past and things that he's learned and been able to show me. So I think our chemistry works well together. He gives me a little wiggle room to be offensive and passes the puck very well and finds me moving up the ice and gets me the puck. So those are all things that I rely on my other side to do, is to pride in defense, to be very reliable defensively in all three zones, and not to take care of me on the other side, but it's just an extra safety valve for me to maybe have a little bit more freedom on that left side.
All set? Great.
All right, thanks guys.
Appreciate you.